ATM transactions, but this is what I want to do. So that's what they have over at Republic Bank. Everything is just easier at Republic Bank. That's their slogan. That's what they live up to, that it's just easier. I've got home equity line there. I got a first mortgage there, but the checking account was the easiest part as well. It's no minimum balance, no monthly maintenance fee, free Republic Bank ATM transactions, free mobile deposit, unlimited check writing, only $50 to open an account, and they'll even give you a free switch kit. It takes less than 5 minutes to switch your accounts over to Republic Bank. So look them up online, republicbank.com. And when you get over there to Republic Bank, tell me to talk about it right here at Deener Show on 939 The Ville and ESPN 680.
You're listening to the Deener Show podcast. Check out Drew weekdays from 7 until 10 only on ESPN 680 and online at espnlouisville.com.
You're listening to The Deener Show on ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Drew Deener and Worldwide.
All right, we are back at it here at Zags 93.9 The Ville, ESPN 680. We'll get back to the calls. We got a full bank of calls. We'll get to you guys the top of the hour to get your predictions in on the three teams here. If you give us three winners, your collective seed total is the highest. You're going to win $25 from over here at Zags. We did have one write-in entry from Rebecca Dietrich, special guest of the show this morning. She's got Butler, Wichita State, and VCU. A little second guessing there. Wisconsin scratched out and VCU in. So good luck, Rebecca. Although I think she's got pretty good connections here. I don't know if she wins the contest. I don't going to change her life all that much, but she's got it. All right, 267-9680 is the number to get in here. Our own Dave Baker is on the line right now with us here as the tournament is underway. And are you involved with any coverage of Kentucky? I'm not asking this round because my sense of it is you're smart enough to wait to the next round.
Well, I will at some point in time, yes. But as you know, to make the long story short, there are a number of different hats that I wear. And some
yes.
years ago, Commissioner Slot pulled me into something. So I will actually be at the SEC Gymnastics Championships in beautiful downtown Little Rock this weekend.
Oh, well, I would not have gone with that. I thought when I saw something yesterday that said Rob Bromley and Steve Moss were driving to Des Moines, I thought,
yes.
Dave Baker ain't driving to Des Moines. He might fly to Philly. He ain't driving to Des Moines.
Well, plus, first and foremost, the Dunbar Bulldogs are in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1997. So we'll have three Baker daughters, which will be cheering at Rupp tonight, which is pretty cool.
Well, all three of them cheering tonight?
Yep. I'm the majority stockholder on that team. That's why I'm a poor man.
Dave Baker with us from over there in Lexington. That's right. I mean, the Sweet 16, I mean, it's just better in Lexington. I mean, it's been here before. That event is, that city, that part of the state certainly embraces it more than they ever did here. It's something that's not even on people's radar here that people plan their years around for the Sweet 16.
Well, it's cool. I mean, some great teams from Louisville and that part of the state this year, and it's just one of those things where you see people year in and year out. It's a great event for us over here, and tonight Dunbar and Mercer County, it's the top two ranked teams in the state that are meeting in the first round, and that's part of the beauty of it. So it'll be a great atmosphere.
Is everybody settled down from the 4 seed yet, or is everybody losing their mind still over there in Lexington about the 4 when they thought they were getting the 3?
I think they're okay about the 4. Probably if anybody's losing their minds, because I just saw that Rick, Mike, and Mike interview yesterday.
Oh, here we go.
No, it's not here I go. I've been very supportive of him, and you know that.
Yes, you have.
But the thing that has just flown all up in me was his line about we don't recruit one-and-dones. Does that mean one-and-dones are the guys that like strippers? Is that what he means there? I mean,
No.
I understand trying to get himself out of this hole, but he just needs to keep his yap shut. If he's going to look like doing an interview from the damn Sistine Chapel and then throws out a line like that, and let me ask you something. If you get guys that are fifth-year players, I believe they're there for one and they're done. Am I right about that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think this year has been a perfect example of how
– forced into Georgetown College, but I believe that's that was the most unbelievable thing I've ever heard in my life. I understand. He got every right to defend himself. But that has nothing to do with it.
Well, I think his point is because I've heard it. Let me back up. I've heard him make this point a number of times, and I think the way that was said can be taken that way. But what I have heard him say most often when he's talking about that they're not recruiting, that they're not going to extreme tactics to try to get players they don't normally get. And I think that's what he has said consistently. That's what he meant. It may have come out the wrong way yesterday.
Then you don't talk as damn much. You shut up.
That's not going to be an option for him. You know him that well. He's not going to not talk.
Well, then he's going to continue to get himself in trouble like that. And for everybody that's tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, for him to say something like that is just abjectly wrong, and he needs to apologize for it. He needs to apologize.
Well, but to who? Who would he apologize to, though? I mean,
everybody. He might go out and recruit. I mean, what does that say to those kids? I mean, kids are giving millions of dollars back to people. Oh, we don't recruit those one-and-done kids. They like those strippers.
Well, I think he's also said that no coach anywhere would condone hiring strippers, hiring prostitutes. I mean, he's right about that. Nobody's condoning that or suggesting other people are doing it. I mean, if you were doing that at, South Valley State somewhere, people would know right from wrong on that one.
But there are people in this business that have done things that they clearly know the difference between right and wrong from. Again, if he wants to defend his position or his school's position, anything like that, that's fine. Talk about the merits of the case. Whether you recruit one-and-dones or not has nothing to do with whether or not this happened and whether or not anybody knew about it. Am I right about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is being taken. I think you're taking it away that I don't think he intended it, but maybe you shouldn't have said it that way.
Well, then he shouldn't have said it. Because you can look at it 150 times, and there's no other way to take it. You don't just lob that out there. I don't know why anybody's doing it. We don't recruit those one-and-dones. Oh, the one-and-dones are attracted to the strippers.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, look, I think this year, more than any other year, has been an example of both of Kentucky and Louisville fans, at least around Louisville. And it's different here than it is in any other county, I believe, of both sides being hypocritical. Because fans here have said, we don't, one and done is not the way to build a program. And then we have Damian Lee and Trey Lewis here, and they are thoroughly embraced for their 1 year here. Conversely, I think Go ahead.
And fans are fanatical. I'm not talking about the fans.
Yeah.
I'm defending the Matt Jones wing of the party here. I have publicly defended the guy. But by the same token, he's 150% wrong about that.
Well, that route probably wasn't the way to go because I guess it could be inferred about that. I've just heard him say all of these things so many times that I know the platform. I know Listen, if he wants to take a shot like that or something at some point in time. I just don't think he was taking a shot. You think he was taking a shot? Because I didn't take it that way.
The thing yesterday, he wasn't taking a shot. He was making a clear inference that we don't recruit. If we were using strippers, we don't need to. We don't recruit those one-and-done guys. I mean, if you make the one-and-done argument at some other point in time, that's fine. You may not like it, but that's fine. But when you lump it in the conversation and in response to a question about what happened and why Andre McGee did something, there's no other way you can take it. And it was just wrong.
Well,
and it's beneath him.
2-6. Oh, sorry, I was looking up something here. Sorry,
I got caught up.
No, I know. Look, maybe that's why I was getting texts from people all over the country yesterday about that interview, and for me, it was literally the same stuff I'd heard him say over and over again. Because I was telling people earlier, I think when I was at the Big 12 this past week, everybody just says, "Oh yeah, he must have known," and I think around here you have reasonable debates about that. What is the mood there? I'm guessing everybody in Lexington just thinks, "Oh, he knew about this all along."
I don't know. I think to most people in Lexington, it's really kind of a non-starter. I mean, you don't know. I mean, it's like I've told you before. In this day and age, you can't assume that he didn't know, and you also have to follow the facts to see whether or not that's true. You saw that 30 for 30 piece on Sunday night. The inference at that point in time was, well, surely some woman wouldn't lie about this,
right?
And surely some prosecutor wouldn't use a situation like this just to get reelected. Well, as journalists, you're supposed to follow the facts, and so in this day and age, whenever there's an allegation, I don't think you can dismiss it out of hand. But I think you've also got to be of the mindset that it could be true, and the only way to find out is to follow the factual evidence in the case.
Yeah, and
so
follow
I
the
think
money.
that's the process that's going on now. And people can think whatever they want, but until we know, we don't know. But what I do know is that whether or not you recruit one and dones does not have anything to do whether or not those kids can be enticed to come to a school by strippers.
Well, I think I hadn't looked at it that way. I'm going to go back and listen to it. Just again, some of those things I just tune out because you said it.
There's that creepy video, too. Watch it.
Well, I only heard it. See, obviously in radio, we were at location yesterday.
I never heard it. You know, on the whole Mike and Mike thing, where they're trying to look like The View now. You know, they replay this stuff in the commercials when they're not on radio, right?
Right.
And so I'm working out this morning, flipping a dial, and all of a sudden it pops up. And it was right at that point where he brings that up. And I'm like, first of all, where is it? Where is he? Like the Sistine Chapel? You know, it's like he's Skyping from someplace.
It sounded like a Skype interview when we did it. Yeah, it definitely sounded like a Skype interview.
But it was absolutely a Skype interview, but the camera's pointed up at him, and it looks like he's in some Greek revival building or something. I don't understand what it is. I mean, for a guy that dresses as well as he does, it's a bad striped golf shirt, and then he's got the glasses on. And so then he starts into this spiel about, you know, Andre McGee this, Andre McGee that, and the inference was, we don't need to do stuff like this because we don't recruit the one and dones. And when he said that, I'm like, what? What?
Let me ask you this: you were there when the Hal Mummy thing went down. When it's the director of was that Bassett's title, director of operations, or what was he?
He was a recruiting coordinator, I believe.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So that's going to be a different scenario. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but it's a different thing. That thing is, and let me just say, make no mistake about it. Kentucky was guilty of a misdemeanor, and they pled guilty to a felony. But that's a whole other show. Well, no, but I think it's relevant because I think you had said that at the time that they self-imposed more than they needed to, right? I mean, didn't they?
Right,
the
NCAA
didn't. If they don't give you any more, I think you sometimes assume that maybe you didn't need to go that far.
There's no question, and obviously, and what I have said all along, and in the realm of full disclosure, Claude Bassett was and remains a friend. Claude Bassett is also the kind of guy that is not going to do one darn thing. When you talk about your loyal foot soldier, he's not going to do one darn thing unless he's got explicit or implicit approval to do so. And so at that time, everybody around him tried to lay the blame on him. You started all the way up the ladder, and somebody tried to lay the blame on somebody beneath them. And as you'll recall, if you look at your score sheet, I don't think any of them made it out.
What do you mean made it out?
Well, let's see. There's the president. There was the AD. There was the football coach. There was
yeah.
I mean, none of them made it out.
Except the guy that was promoted to head coach who was also on staff at the time. That was maybe the most peculiar of all of them. When Guy Morris was like, he didn't know nothing. We'll make him head coach.
And his office was next door to Claude.
He didn't know anything. He lived right next door.
On the one hand, you had the assertion that you had this loudmouth Claude Bassett, the 300-pound guy that was yelling across the hall.
Well, he was loudmouth. He was loudmouth. I know he's your boy, but yeah.
Right. The assertion is he was yelling across the hall to ship bags of money out to people, and the guy in the office next to him didn't know anything about it.
Well, we are at the top of the hour. I was going to get Final Four picks from you, Al, but to hell with it. No. We'll go with Oklahoma, Kansas, Kentucky, and Purdue. All right. Purdue, look at you.
I like that. They've got 3 7-footers, 2 of which play. I mean, they're good.
I like their coach. I like Painter. I like him too. I think he knows what he's doing. So
they got a good coach. I'm sorry if I got you off topic today.
Oh yeah, well you did, but it's what you do.
I've been very middle of the road about this, but I think he was just absolutely dead wrong on this.
That one got you yesterday. Clearly, yes, you've been supportive. I'm surprised to hear it this way, but I get it. I understand.
And that's what happens. That's what happens when you try to make it a PR deal instead of just letting it play out.
All right, Dave. It's always good to catch up. Enjoy the gymnastics in the game tonight.
Carry on, my wayward son.
All right, there you go. All right, we will get to you on the other side. 267-9680.